Today's podcast is brought to you by the Tax Defense Group. Tax season is here, and that means that it's time to file your taxes. But there's good news. If you're a W-2 employee, you can save half off your filing. All you have to do is call the Tax Defense Group before April 15, 2020 and mention that you saw this ad on UCast Studios. Millions of Americans will get money back after they file, and you can be one of them. So call the Tax Defense Group at 800-850-7973. That number again is 800-850-7973, and you can visit them online at taxdefensegroup.com. Also, shout out to our second sponsor, Writer Junkie. Are you looking to make more money in 2020? Well, one of the best ways to do so is by having a new resume that can help you get that dream job. Writer Junkie offers affordable, well-written resumes for the low cost of $145. They'll even throw in a cover letter for no additional charge. All you have to do is mention that you saw this ad on UCast Studios and they'll get right to work. Call Writer Junkie today at 805-587-7966 and you can visit them online at writerjunkie.com. Welcome everybody back to the TheDomCast, episode 51, I hope. Do y'all know? Did we do 50 last week?
I don't keep track of the numbers.
We're definitely past 50.
Yeah, because 50 was a milestone. I hope this is 51, whatever. Yeah, we got a lot to talk about this week. This is going to be a good one. We got everything from like good NBA content all the way to OnlyFans. So we got a variety of topics this week. But of course, everything like OnlyFans and all the savage stuff is at the very end and all the NBA content first. So, y'all say what's up. I mean, y'all basically
How y'all doing?
What's up? 1, 2.
Yeah, we're doing good. It is not the last day of February. We have a 29th this year. This 2020 is flying by. But anyways, with it flying by, so is the NBA season. We have a lot going on. Pelicans are in a mad dash for the playoffs. They might make it because the Grizzlies have fallen out a little bit. We got a lot going on with parity because at this point, these are questions that people, but I forgot to say at the beginning. Some of these are going to be Instagram questions infused into the podcast. I did take questions despite half the questions being things that we've already discussed, but whatever, we still got some good things in here. Anyways, people want to know about the Celtics. They want to know about Jason Tatum because he went on a tear in February. I believe he's averaging like 30-something points this month.
Shooting a very high percentage.
Yeah, he's given the business, and Kemba Walker hasn't been playing a couple of games, giving the business to teams like the Clippers, the Lakers, even though they ended up losing that game, then with some very questionable last 2-minute things going on there, but that was still a close game. Went off on the Jazz, but I'm a Celtics fan, so I'm gonna let y'all go at this one first. Do y'all actually, is this just smoke, or do y'all actually believe in the Celtics for the playoffs? Do y'all actually believe that they're gonna give Milwaukee a run? Are we finals bound? What is Boston looking like? That's what people want to know.
I'll go ahead and take point.
Or do y'all believe it?
I definitely believe that he's in the process of taking that next step to what we all think his potential is, but I don't know if I want to go on a reach and say that, the Celtics are ready as a team to make that next step, though. Because, Giannis is scoring like 30 plus, playing like 28 minutes right now. Yeah, so
basically like 30 minutes.
You play him 40 minutes, then what's going to happen?
All right, so that's a creative way to say no. You don't believe in us.
I still have Celtics at the top 3. To come out of the East along with Philly. For some reason I still can't.
Oh, you still on Philly, huh?
Yeah, still got Philly there.
Even after him.
Yeah.
I low key think I'm all, because we've discussed like Philly has been a large talk of like the last few podcasts or whatever, because we always say like they match up the way that they match up with the Bucks. That's always what we say. That's like the one thing. But I think I'm starting to hop off that a little bit, though.
I don't believe in Philly right now.
Yeah, I'm starting to as we're into March now, playoffs will be in a month. I think I'm starting to hop off the Philly chain. But you're still on, though.
Because I need 3 teams, and I have Celtics and Bucks. I need a third team there,
and so you wouldn't give that to the Miami Heat?
Nah. You lose the Cavs, I'm good. But
going back to Celtics, game, bro. It's a regular season loss.
When the drug tests come back clean, cause everybody getting drug tests right now. Tatum is coming in. This is the year we expect them having when the year after the
rookie
Cavs season.
When we lost to the Cavs in
this is the follow-up season we expect them to have. Kyrie situation, whatever. But I do have faith in Celtics. I don't know how far they'll go without someone in the middle.
Giannis talking about the big,
that.
Right.
But I'm confident Celtics be there then.
In the finals?
1 or 3. 1 or 3.
Oh, okay.
Teams, yeah.
So,
no, Eastern Conference, I mean.
Right. So, but Yeah, it's hard to imagine. Like I said, with the way they match the Bucks, it is kind of difficult because the Bucks are really good. Like Middleton is a really nice too. I know we always talk about it and say like Giannis doesn't have an Anthony Davis or a Harden or whatever.
That's
as far
facts,
as like a second,
yeah.
and it's still facts.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Middleton is really nice though. He had
Yeah.
40 the other night when Giannis was out, I believe, against the Wizards, and or he fouled out or whatever happened there, and they ended up winning that game. So Middleton's are really nice too. They're gonna be really tough to defeat. Just backing up back to Philly. The reason I've kind of hopped off that train a little bit is just because they have just too much going on this season.
Yeah.
When you're trying to figure out what's going on with Al Horford and him having all that money and some games not even starting or whatever, the injuries that they have now, that's fucking killer. Especially coming down the stretch, you've got Ben Simmons with the back injury, some pinched thing or something like that. I didn't see
His
that.
back period is crazy.
Yeah, the way they were making it sounded like so serious. For like his sister got on Twitter and was like, "Y'all are fucking sick. This is more than basketball." I thought he was like in a wheelchair or something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I didn't know all that.
Yeah, no. When I saw her tweet, I got scared. I'm like, "Damn, bro, was he like?" I thought he was done. Yeah, but they'll reevaluate him in like 2 weeks. And B just caught a shoulder injury. They said they're gonna reevaluate him. And so when you talk about that and the problems that they were having this season already, getting this close to the playoffs, I'm kind of like, I really don't know anymore with that. But
well, mine is strictly off talent level of those two. I know the injuries, base availability is available and all that crap, but those two talented players alone is
well.
I mean, I agree in that sense. On paper, like they match up and they're a good team, but it's just when you see how they play, see what's going on, it's just, I'm losing faith.
Well, I'm glad y'all brought that up because that was kind of one of the questions. I don't think I actually wrote it down, but somebody did kind of make a comparison between, like you're saying, you believe in them because of the talent, just strictly because of the talent, and then of course how they match up with Milwaukee, but there was somebody who was bringing up comparisons between them and the Celtics last year, and they were saying like, did we see that comparison in terms of a team where you thought they? Because I think coming into this season, I had them second. I had the Sixers second in the East. I thought you were gonna have Bucks and you were gonna have Sixers. The way it's turning out is probably they're gonna be like fifth, maybe. You know.
Hold on, what was Celtics last year? What are you talking about?
How did we end up? We ended up being fourth when we were supposed to be like first, pretty much first or second. And so they're comparing it to them in that way, and the team that was supposed to be really good, but it's been nothing but like trouble on and. Not on and off the court, but in the interviews and stuff like that, and the comments around them. So that was a
I can see the comparison. Yeah.
Right, that is something people were bringing out. As far as the Celtics, because y'all gave y'all take, you said nah, you don't think they're gonna beat Milwaukee. You said you think they'll be there at the end, but you don't. You give them a chance against Milwaukee. That's really it does.
I don't give nobody a chance against
Milwaukee. Okay, so so both of y'all knows on that cool. So yeah, I don't know. I'm just kind of enjoying this season. This feels different for me because like it's been so long since I've had any title hopes with Boston, like real title hopes. Because last year the way things were going, and with the Warriors still being healthy too, I didn't think I was like, even if we get to the finals, who actually knows what happened there? It's been so long since it's been like parity, and it's like, damn, my team actually has a chance. But yeah, still it's a little bit difficult to imagine that we're gonna get there and patch up, the matchup problems with Milwaukee and end up beating them 4 times. They're on a 70 win pace. Like you said, everybody's playing beautifully. Middleton, Giannis, in like no minutes at all. Somebody has to beat that team 4 times in a week. That's kind of difficult to imagine. But so I'm just like, I'm gonna temper my expectations. I'm gonna enjoy the playoffs. I don't expect the finals this year, but man, I am really. What's that joke?
Do you expect the Eastern Conference Finals?
Do I expect the Eastern Conference Finals? Yeah, I do. Okay. I expect that much because Toronto's nice. Toronto is nice, but
I forgot about Toronto that quick.
Toronto's nice, but I don't think it's. I don't think they're at the level where you look at them and say, "Oh, no team but the Bucks has a chance against them in the East."
Not at all.
Yeah, because sometimes I feel like when you bring that up and you're like, "Oh, the Celtics this or Heat this," they're like, "Oh, what about Toronto?" Toronto's really nice. They're really good.
I mean, and even though they've won all those games, I mean, Boston's still only like a game or 2 behind them.
Yeah, it's close like that. That's what I'm saying with the parity of this year. There's no like, "Oh, get out of here with that." When you talk about these like teams that are up in the top, yeah, it's. And so, not so much that I'll be like disappointed if we're not in the conference finals, but I could easily see it though. I could definitely see that much. And Toronto and Milwaukee actually played this week. Toronto, they were able to. I believe that was their first game of the season. Had they played before that? I was searching it up. I don't think they had played before that. I think this might have been the first time. And it was real interesting because this was the Eastern Conference Finals rematch, and now we have it without Kawhi Leonard. And Toronto played them well for most of the game. But at the end, they're still, Marc Gasol is out right now. I believe Powell is out as well. So they were missing a couple of pieces, and Giannis and them, they ended up getting away with the win. But yeah, Toronto is nice. I just don't think they're, sometimes people talk about them like they're still a juggernaut, and I don't really agree with that.
No.
So yeah, like I said, Celtics, Eastern Conference Finals, I'd be happy with that. I'm glad so much of that involved Giannis though, because that was that one of the questions? Yeah, so yeah, that actually was one of the questions. Somebody was asking about if they do manage this 70 games, does it actually, was that the question he asked? I have it written down here as, would it hurt to win 70 games but not go to the finals or lose? So I guess they're talking about more in terms of like legacy talk or whatever. Is it like a,
if you go for that, you have to win the championship. Like
no one
talks, that's the same thing we said.
No one talks about 73-9 because they didn't win.
Right.
Yeah, he's right.
Yeah, so if they, so you basically, you look crazy if you win 70 games.
Yeah,
you look real funny in the light.
Right. Yeah, because that is true. Because that was always the joke with 73-9, and they lied. So if you win 70 games, you're obligated to win the title there because you only lost to a game.
Right.
Well, yeah, that was my answer.
I got a question.
Yeah,
all the people that won that 71 championships that year, right?
Because only a couple of teams, the Bulls, they won 72 games. Nobody else actually won 70 games.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, remember we talked about this like weeks.
It was 69
ago.
with the Lakers.
Yeah. So 72-10, and then the Warriors 73-9.
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah, so you gotta
right.
You gotta make the finals. Yeah. Especially I feel like in 2016, if the Warriors hadn't made the finals, I feel like we would have kind of understood because the Thunder were really damn good that year. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They were kind of right there with them, but I feel like, and they had the Spurs as well that year. Yeah. So, but when you're the Bucks and like your competition is, you're looking at Toronto without their Finals MVP. Looking at the Celtics who are trying to make a run but still don't even have like a defender really to match your best player. I feel like, yeah, you look crazy if you don't end up in the finals. And that was my answer to the question somebody asked. Somebody asked us who has the most to lose by not winning the title this year. I said Bucks. I said Bucks because of that, and because this pushes Giannis towards the door.
He has to get to the finals bare minimum. If he doesn't get to the finals, it's a big failure.
Who doesn't win?
Yeah, like who had, yeah. So he says it's failure, not, of course, definitely a failure not making the finals. But who has the most to lose by not winning the championship this year? Because like we have a lot of teams that could potentially win it now. And so you're talking about LeBron on the Lakers and AD and all this, and
it's out of the Bucks or the Clippers.
They have the most to lose by not winning.
Yeah, because do you expect like if Bucks and Clippers go to the finals, who's favorite?
If the Bucks and Clippers go to the finals, I feel like a lot of that has to do with what happens in the playoffs, like how it ends up going down in the playoffs. Because right now PG's playing like trash, but I think we assume by the playoffs like he'll be a little bit better. But what if he's playing like trash during the playoffs and then Kawhi Leonard has done another job like he did last year? Then I think that changes a little bit. But if you have Kawhi and PG both hooping at like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I guess it depends how the finals goes. If it's like a grueling game, 7 games, then I don't think Bucks will worry that much.
Because right.
Like you got there and you played all
close.
You know what I mean?
Right.
But I feel like
they can't be getting no sweeps out here.
Yeah, they getting sweep, fam.
I also think because you brought up the Clippers, I think it also in answer to this question that the person asked. We forget, like, this is going so fast. Kawhi and PG only signed like 2 years guaranteed, right? And then after that's an option.
Yeah.
And so if they don't win this year, then you look at it as like, okay, well, we got to make something shake next year. Yeah. And if something don't shake next year, like you might be back to the projects. If you're the Clippers.
All your picks gone. So
say what?
All the picks gone.
Yeah, so you might be back to the projects if you don't slide it. So they're under. Nobody really talks about it, but the Clippers are under pressure for a title as well, especially being the first in franchise history. The Lakers, I mean, LeBron doesn't get his 4th ring, but the thing is, we think him and AD will still be here for.
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't have Lakers. We don't win. It's not let's burn the whole world down. No.
Yeah, and I don't think they're under some pressure because LeBron is aging. He's getting a little.
Yeah.
But I mean, you see how he's playing right now, though.
Yeah, so. Even though, he just decided to score 40 on the Pelicans. Yeah, right. That was a crazy watch. That was a season high too. Could y'all believe that? That was a season high. Was the 40 points.
Yeah, with the assists, I can understand why.
Yeah, but he showed he still has it because I watched the whole game because it was Zion too. So I was really wanted to watch and focus on that. And LeBron got that very well paced. It was a very well paced 40. It was like, okay, cool. I'm gonna score this much in this quarter, this much in this quarter. Yeah, he got on them. Rod, what was yours to this about who has the most to lose by not winning it this year? Because he brought up the Clippers. That was a good point. I hadn't even considered that, but
I think I have to factor in how the Battle of LA goes, because I feel like both LA is going to meet in the conference finals.
Cross fingers.
So
hopefully.
But depending on how that shakes up, that could determine like who has most on it. But I think if Giannis wants to take the next step to be like the face of the league, he has to get a ring.
Yeah.
Just a quick reminder for everybody to check out the sponsors of this video. Both Tax Defense and Writer Junkie links can be found in the comment section and description of this video. And I think Milwaukee, just in general, trying to like heading into a free agency year too next year. Like you really want to win. Ideally, obviously, you want to win in any year.
Yeah.
But yeah, then the pressure is really all next year. So yeah, my answer is definitely Milwaukee. Going back, since we just touched on the Lakers and Pelicans, actually, I wanted to make sure we talked about this because, yeah, that was a really well-paced 40 scored by LeBron James. Zion Williamson did really good, too. Yeah,
29 or something
yeah,
like that.
as he always does well. Yeah, it's just going really great with him. They actually were, during that game, discussing the whole rookie thing again. I think so they put up some stats. The least games that somebody's played in one rookie of the year was actually like 50 something, I believe.
In the 50s?
Yeah, it was like 50 something. So the fact that no, the amount of games that they played. Yeah, no,
so he's not going to reach nowhere near enough.
Yeah, he's going to play like 37. So regardless, even that's crazy. Even if they make the playoffs over the Grizzlies, which
you got to wish for like harm to Morant to get injured or something. I think some people like that. You gotta wish like some injury happened at Morant, so you shut him down.
Even if if they don't make the playoffs, even then with 37 games. But that wasn't the topic here, anyways. It was more of what happened between LeBron and Josh Hart. Y'all saw the dunk.
Yeah, I saw it. That was real bad.
That was amazing because y'all remember Hart's podcast during the summer. Yeah, because a lot of people. Yeah. I posted a tweet about it and I felt like nobody. There was so many people like, what happened? Like nobody remembered. Just for y'all who didn't know, and so we could recap. Josh Hart had during the summer, like him and Lonzo Ball, they were on a podcast or whatever. I think Josh Hart had a little bit of the wine going, so he was a little bit loose.
Yeah.
And Lonzo Ball made a comment about it being like cold and dreary in Lithuania. Is that where he was playing? I remember his brother was playing or whatever, and like nobody wants to be there. And Josh Hart was like, yeah, that's like LA, and not just LA. I mean the organization.
Right.
And he kept talking after that too, though, and talking about like specific people, and he checked other people off that he wasn't talking about, and LeBron was never on that check off. So he kind of narrowed it down. It kind of felt like he was talking about LeBron James. So LeBron comes back, had that beautiful dunk after. That was the one where Caruso passed it under his legs, right? Was it that dunk?
I believe so. Yeah.
And then LeBron posts on Instagram that picture.
Yeah, that was real disrespectful.
What did the caption say?
The caption
ain't matter. The fact that he had a pic where his nuts were in the other dude's face.
Wasn't it like about last night or something like that?
Yeah. A lot of these boys or something.
But yeah, it was a whole. You had to deliberately. My thing was you had to deliberately go get that picture. Like that was a really nice, crisp, like 1080p edited photo.
Yeah, like yo, fam, give me the dunk when I dunked on Hart.
Yeah,
send that to me.
And Hart's head was in LeBron's nuts. That was a face full of nuts.
Yeah.
That was one of the most disrespectful posts. I think that's LeBron's subtle way of getting back at the podcast.
LeBron great at subliminals.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And what made it worse was you had all the stars, because everybody followed LeBron in the world. Yeah. So like you had all the stars under that post. You had Rihanna. That was what Rihanna posted. She was like, "Is Hart okay?" I think it's the first time she acknowledged that he existed. Yeah. So T.I. going crazy under that post. Yeah. That's crazy, bro. That's why if I was a player, I told you I wouldn't use social media. That's not good for mental health at that point.
It'd be a whole other Gilbert Arenas situation.
Because that's one of the most disrespectful subliminal shots I've ever seen in my life. But I had to make sure we brought that up. That was one of many interesting things that happened this week. Another thing that happened this week, Malik Monk is the latest victim of the NBA's random drug test.
I feel like previous years, this has never happened at this amount of frequency.
We got to be at a record now.
Because I remember Rashard Lewis got hit in 2009, but that was the only case I could think of before Aiden got hit.
That was a rare thing.
Well, and Tariq Evans, pharmacy he had going on.
But that was like an actual that's more than just like that wouldn't performance enhancing, right? that wasn't just performance enhancing. That was a bit deeper than that. But they won't even. So we just Googled it before this. The latest thing I could find, they wouldn't even disclose the details of this Monk thing. They just said suspended indefinitely without pay. And so it must have.
I don't know what they found in the system.
Yeah, bro. And it's crazy because the discussion we were having, the post I sent y'all, was like Monk was having a really like good run, but it wasn't anything that was like test worthy though, we would think, right?
Like it was, he averaged like 16 for a month.
Yeah. something like just minutes like, yo, look at this young guy, cool. He's coming up. Yeah. And I was like, yo, the NBA straight at their headquarters got like charts in their office and like whiteboards with like distribution curves and shit like that for all the players, and that must be how they catching them, because I'm like, to catch this one and say, okay, we testing this guy, like
they're like, this don't look like, I don't know what they were doing, like
they watching them like hawks.
So like the statistics they add up, so they just tested them. But,
right? Yeah.
But, I mean, Bill got tested after he dropped those 2 50-point games. So
where do y'all hear about these? Because I didn't even hear Bill got tested. I didn't even hear that one. He said he got tested.
Yeah.
That's so frequent now, like, and that's kind of.
But that's strange. I could see that happen for Bill. I don't, you know what I mean?
See what happened.
It's not we saw him drop 50 before.
Well, that's what I was about to say, right? That is kind of strange that you go, because he's considered a star, like a high level player.
Yeah. And also, I don't know what drugs are out there to improve your jump shot.
Yeah, it's the NBA is serious about that. I think they're showing us a serious commitment to like at least trying to give the appearance of a commitment to keeping these things out of the sport, because Beal is a player you can see going on a scoring tear. They still like, come here. Like, was it after the first or second 50-point game?
Gotta be second.
Yeah, because that's what happened. Beal scored 100+ points in 24 hours and lost both games. Gave us some beautiful memes because him sitting on the bench on the sideline with that disgusted face.
Like, I hate it here.
Yeah, I hate it. Yeah, you couldn't say nothing to that man.
Well, he chose secure the bag, think about the future later.
Hey, nobody feels bad, really.
Not at all.
Nobody feels bad. John Wall. Somebody in my chat said that, I hadn't confirmed this. Somebody in my chat said John Wall said that he would be back right now if it was up to him, but I'm not sure what the validity of that is. And for the Wizards, it makes no sense to bring back John Wall just to get washed by the Bucks, you know.
Not at all.
Especially off of an Achilles. So he'll have John Wall next year. We'll see if Beal and Wall can put something together. But definitely props to Beal though. That's hey, he's on the tear. He's after that post All-Star tear. We had Trae Young on that. We got Bradley Beal. That's him. I said like him and Levine right now are like the Spider-Man meme. Beal and Levine like scoring all these points and losses, because Levine hit 40 and lost this week as well. So that's what's going on in Washington. Yet they're not out of the playoff race. They could still replace the Orlando Magic. That is
embarrassing. Nah, I don't even know that.
That's embarrassing.
Yeah, you know what? That's the great. We'll talk about it when we get to the standings. But I was doing the math this morning. The Suns would be like right there, I believe. They're like 13th in the West, and I believe they would be like 9th in the East, like, or tied with the Magic or something like that.
That's crazy.
Yeah, despite being like close to last in the West, so that disparity is still there. That hasn't lost at all. Yeah, we talked about the Sixers. Miami is on a slump as well. They've lost to some terrible teams. Cleveland, Timberwolves. I was trying to remember the third team. I really cannot remember the third team.
I'm trying to name worst trash team.
Just start naming teams. Yeah,
Pistons, Knicks.
Yeah, there was one of my. Nah, hell no. That'd be like. Yeah, but whatever. It's a slump. That don't really put them out of complete contention. We will move on to the comments that I guess were made this morning. This is a discussion I definitely want to have. I don't know if it was made yesterday, because I was definitely surprised by the lack of discussion I had seen around it, but it looks like it's heating up during the day. And the Harden and Milwaukee.
Smoke. Okay.
Yeah, cool. Free smoke. Yeah, Harden and Giannis. That's a real thing. They've gone back and forth in the media. I would love if this turned out to be a finals. I wouldn't be mad. Everyone says Lakers and Bucks or Clippers and Bucks, but this is kind of underrated at this point. A Harden and Giannis finals, because Harden basically went on, and for context, he was being asked questions by Rachel Nichols, so he didn't just come firing from the hip.
No.
Rachel Nichols asked him, I think, about the joke that Giannis made during All-Star Weekend about, I want guys who pass. Harden was like, well, that don't really make sense. I average more assists than like a Kemba Walker, and nobody says anything about him, not passing. So that was his comment there. Harden believes he is the best player in the NBA right now. He says that he's not defended. Nobody defends any players like they defend Harden. Coaches send double teams at him no matter what. He said if he scores 18 points one night, the next night they still send in a half-court double team to him. So that's part of why he believes he's the best player. And as far as with comments towards Giannis, it was a sub at Giannis, but not really. He basically goes on to say, I wish that I could just be 7 feet and run and dunk, but I actually have to have skill. I actually have to learn how to play basketball. He said that with the straightest of faces, free smoke. So
you shoot from the hip.
Yeah. I love it. I love the rivalries. Everybody ain't got to be friends. Everybody ain't got to hug before the finals. What do y'all? This is amazing, bro. What do y'all think about this? What do y'all? And any of the comments with Harden, y'all can take whichever ones y'all want. But this is amazing.
I mean, I think part of this is a culmination of all the years he's felt he's been robbed of the MVP.
Yep.
So he's just like, come on now.
Because people argue he should have like 3 or 4 or something like that. And the latest one that he lost was to Giannis, and he said last summer he believed he deserved it. I believe. So that was his. That's where a lot of this anger comes from.
I mean, some are debatable, but some he has a case for. But either way, like, yeah, he's
only way you have the case for the first Curry one.
2015 Curry, some people say should have been his. Yeah, obviously no one had an argument in
Not at all.
16. No matter how much people try to write that, nobody had an argument besides Curry. 2017 was Westbrook. He believes. I think.
Okay, yeah, that one too.
Yeah,
he got two when he could have won.
Yeah, so he could have 3 right now. 2018 was Yeah. Wait. Who?
Giannis.
2018. No. 2019 was Giannis. Why am I blanking on the 2018? Oh, he was the 2018 MVP. Yeah. He was. Okay. Oh yeah, because it was him. Yeah. Okay, so he won 18 and then 19. He feels like he should have probably repeated 19. I remember during.
Yeah, I can see it. But.
And so now
again, I love the comment. Again, I want to see how Giannis responds to that, especially to the skill aspect of it.
Yeah, because
this is a straight jab.
Yeah, because there's really not even anything subliminal about that. When you say I wish I was 7 feet and could just run and dunk, like that's pretty pointed at who that is.
At face value, I completely understand what you're saying. Giannis, the way he scores, like nothing you can do about it.
Yeah, at face value.
But when deep dive, fam, when Giannis have the ball, defense changes.
Yeah,
when he drive in Europe, they crowd in that paint.
He's freaking nature.
He got a choice.
And plus, he's a two-way. He's a two-way player.
Yeah. He plays really good defense too, which
you know what I mean.
Yeah, you can find people who like freaking nature bodies and still
they got the best record in the league. Like,
yeah, the MVP is not a debate right now. I mean, I'm sorry, it's just not.
It is true that they don't mention him. They don't mention him in this conversation.
Yeah, because Rachel Nichols brought that up. She was like, when you look on the MVP ladder, like you're not even on the 5. Like she said, he said basically, you control what you can control. I can't control all of those type of things. But yeah, he's not.
At the beginning of the season, was Luka considered a better player than him?
Luka considered a better player than Harden.
Like his MVP case.
I think what knocks Harden is that a lot of people don't like his style of play.
Yeah.
So that knocks like how they view him on like MVP ladders and stuff like that.
But there's no argument that Harden is more skilled than Giannis. Nobody would argue.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah. So that's why you could say at face value, yeah, he is, he has more of a bag.
Yeah.
Just go ahead and say that.
You're applying that Giannis isn't skilled when you say that too.
And you know what?
He's just saying he's just leveraging his physical assets and not.
Yeah. To say Giannis has no skill is kind of crazy, but. I get the anger and the shots that they've been trading back and forth.
Right.
And I guess Harden also does it from a lens of, hey, when they went to the conference finals last year, the Milwaukee Bucks, you played Toronto, they were able to shut you out by essentially building a wall, basically, because they knew that if you can't get to the rim, if you can't Euro step to the rim, we can beat you. Now, other guys weren't hitting shots as well, too, so that didn't help anything. But they're kind of saying, like, Giannis doesn't have a KD bag. He's not going to hit you with a turnaround, a icy turnaround fade all game. He's not going to hit you.
Counter is when Chris Paul went down, y'all lost. Y'all missed a lot of threes, man.
Yeah, you talking about in? That happens.
Nah, I don't know what happens. You don't miss that amount of threes.
When he missed 27 threes. Okay, but what I'm saying is nobody is really giving shit for Harden not being able to beat the KD Warriors without his second best player. You know what I mean?
And also, he was still getting his shots off. He just wasn't hitting them.
Yeah, that's KD Warriors, fam. Like, it was a stretch that year for anybody beating them anyways, and then it happened.
So who had a worse moment? Giannis last year, or him against Spurs?
Oh, him against the Spurs. Damn, you digging back like 2017, right?
Yeah, well, let's
when he got blocked by Ginobili.
I ain't go that far.
When he got blocked by Ginobili, because that was that one game. What was it? Game 6 on their home
court. And
we
thought someone left Harden in the locker room. We didn't know what Harden was.
That was a bad night. That was
strange.
Yeah,
but I'm not picking side. I love this.
Yeah,
but to say Giannis isn't skilled is crazy.
Yeah.
But Giannis is Harden is most definitely more skilled because he's 6'5". He's not at most athletic, so he gotta find ways to score.
Yeah, the skill bag is something that people often go after Giannis for, because I knew who they were talking about. Have y'all watched at all Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson podcast that they do together?
I watched episodes. Yeah, I watched it.
Yeah, and I watched the one they filmed with Kobe back in early January, and I felt like I knew who they were talking about, where they were asking like, can you be the best player in the NBA, or can you be a top 5 player? Well, maybe not top 5, but best player, and you airball free throws. That's what they ask Kobe. Like, if you ever airballed a free throw in your career, I thought that was pretty. Pretty straightforward. Going like, how is Giannis the best? And sometimes you put him on the line, and that shit like drawing them by air, you know. Yeah. So this is a common thing that people draw points and say, hey, Giannis, he got the defense. He's a freak in nature. We've known for years, like once he actually got something with the frame that he had, he was going to be what he is now. But people do routinely go after this bag of, okay, if we can stop him from getting to the rim and his teammates not hitting shots, you know, what other player can you really do that to? Like, what other superstar can you really shut out like that? Because that was Harden's point. It's like, you can't really shut me out like that. I got other things I'm doing. You throwing double teams at me every day, and I'm leading the league in scoring. That was his point. That's what he's bringing to the table. Right. And that was his response to Rachel Nichols when he was like, you're not even top 5. He's like, I'm leading the league in scoring for like, what, 3 years now, basically. He is averaging a cool 35 with, like you said, doubles thrown at him all the time. The Rockets' game plan is literally to now have him and Westbrook isolate with shooters everywhere. They still try to throw doubles at him sometimes. Hey, that's where Harden stands, bro. That's where Harden stands.
Because I mean, we're not we're not discrediting like his skills. Like, we all know he that dude, but I mean, it's just like, even went a little too far with just saying, it's just a scrub with God-given physique.
Right.
Again, it's I understand his reason, but scoring, because you the number one scoring, don't mean the best player.
Yeah,
how many times LeBron led the league in scoring?
I don't think anybody agrees that Harden is the best player in the NBA today. Maybe, I guess you argue the best offensive player. You could argue that.
We do need 2 separate awards, but I feel you.
Yeah, because nobody calls Harden. I mean, Harden's not the best player in the NBA.
All right.
Maybe he's also looking at it at a lens of skill as well. Like, maybe because if you do it by like skill, is he the best player in the NBA today? Like, if you trying to say, name me a player more skilled than Harden.
Is Harden more skilled than LeBron?
Here we go. He's
better at drawing fouls.
Yeah, and he has an offensive bag, but then LeBron does other things as well. Though LeBron sees the floor like a scientist of basketball, basically. Right. So there's other things. He sees shit before it happens, and knows where to be. So it's a whole different conversation.
But listen, I understand the lens he's coming from. I understand his getting slided for MVPs. Bro, I'm averaging 35 since MJ.
Yeah.
What's good out here?
Right.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I'm getting guarded half court. Like, you.
Right. He does. Yeah, he did bring up, or Rachel Nichols asked him how validating would winning a championship be, because I think that was in a video I did, was talking about how him and Westbrook both kind of need that for validation of their careers, because they're both kind of like heavily criticized careers, and people saying maybe they don't play winning basketball or whatever. And that's not all the championship for the Rockets would do anyways, besides validating just them. We were just talking about this before the pod.
The center position would be obsolete if their current team won a championship.
Like, bro, what's good? Like, if we have a championship roster, like, you're looking at a hall of championship teams and you see one with PJ Tucker starting center, like, I think that might be a turning point in NBA history.
Yeah, people are so afraid to lose their jobs.
Yeah, if you can't do it, you can't be a guy who can't shoot basically at 7 feet tall. If after the season, if the Rockets win, I don't think, because if the Rockets won, that would mean you shut out guys like Gobert,
AD.
If you won a championship, that means you beat guys like AD. That's hard to imagine.
Yeah, I don't fathom that.
I don't really see this happening yet. This is cool for this last 10 games, I guess they've done it. Yeah, it's worked pretty well.
It's been a nice experiment so far.
Yeah, it's been a real nice experiment. The way that they crowd 7-footers as soon as anybody looks at them. The way they played on both sides of the floor is fascinating. People thought that they were just gonna post up PJ Tucker all game, and the Rockets played really good team defense so far. But that's the Harden and Giannis thing. Harden has his side, Giannis has his side.
Did they play yet with his new roster against? They already played Bucks and Rockets.
They played Milwaukee earlier this season, but they haven't played with this roster.
I gotta see this game, bro.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they play again. I hope so, because I don't think they played twice before February. I gotta see that too, right?
I gotta see that.
What makes this better is that Giannis isn't they were just talking about this during one of the games the other day too, is like, Giannis is already a guy like not friends really with the rest of the league, because they just had his quote on the screen the other day talking about how he can't he can't like train with a guy and then play against him in the season. Like he's one of those, and so yeah, hey, I'm not mad.
It just sucks they won't guard each other.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's NBA is so much about team defense and switching, anyways.
I mean, given the Rockets' current defensive scheme, he might end up guarding him at some point because they don't do a lot of switches.
Yeah, right. And what would Harden really do with Giannis? Anyways, but
Giannis mostly played free safety on defense.
I'm looking forward to that switch though with Harden on offense and Giannis on defense. Though I'm looking forward to that. Was that this season? Well, didn't that happen this season when Giannis airball like a free throw this season and Harden like ducked? Like, didn't that happen this year?
I know somebody ducked. I don't know Harden. I don't know that Harden.
I'm thinking it was Harden because I was like, yeah, that's more into this thing.
He almost killed somebody in the crowd.
So that was before this comment. So he probably had animosity towards Giannis prior.
Well, he's had animosity. I think he's had animosity since he won the MVP last year.
Oh, okay.
And Harden felt like he deserved it. And yeah, but this is awesome, bro. This is awesome. I love this. Is a pointed interview right at Giannis. Someone's gonna ask Giannis about it. I don't think Giannis is really gonna say much.
I'll see him when I see him.
I just want to play basketball. Oh gosh. Yeah, nah. I love this, bro. This is what I talk about when I say I want to know what players actually think, and I want to hear what they actually think. I want to hear the actual comments, and not everybody has to dap up and be best friends before the finals. Oh, that'd be awesome, bro. With Westbrook's attitude too, and he ride or die for the homies. Oh, that would be awesome. But the Rockets have multiple 7-footers to down before that would be a possibility. Damn, that'd be cool. Oh, I guess. Man, I'm looking at the quote. That's crazy. I wish I could run and just dunk. That's hard.
This junk. That's what he does on offense. Does dunk mostly, but that's crazy.
Loosely related to the Rockets. How far do y'all? This is a fan question. How far do y'all see OKC going this year? They're 5th seed now. I believe they're only like 2, maybe 3 games out of 3rd. That's insane.
I mean, in my opinion, it doesn't matter how far they go. As long as they finish a higher seed than they did last year, Westbrook's gonna be looking wild.
Hey, but Westbrook's doing so good right now.
No, he's still be looking wild.
No, boy. Hold on. No, boy. What?
Nah, bro.
I'm saying right now with
OKC was supposed to be like a lottery team.
Yes.
Yeah. No. The way we saw it in the Western Conference, they absolutely were supposed to be out there in like 13th, fighting for 8th right now, like the Suns are. That's what it looked like because the West we thought it was gonna be a little bit better. But instead, they're fighting with the Rockets and see. But the thing is, though, there's other factors with that, bro. Chris Paul is not as washed as people thought he was. Shea is coming along. What? What's the face? What's that?
Okay, no, continue.
Chris Paul is not as washed as people thought he was. One of the most clutch players in the league right now. He is.
How is CP not being washed is a factor?
Huh?
I don't understand that.
Because he's not there to just die. He's actually helping the team win.
Okay.
Yeah, he's actually helping that team win.
I mean, I feel like people, it's because the amount of money he was getting paid. That's why people thought like he's not worth the price tag he currently is.
Yeah, I
never thought that he wasn't like he's still a floor general. Like he can still run
that's why I was looking at it.
Because he can still run the offense. He can still get assists. It's just he's not like
because last year
he ain't posterizing Dwight Howard no more.
Because last year with the Rockets he wasn't as good. That season wasn't as good as his first season with the Rockets. And then people always look at the injuries and so they're like, okay, now he's just going to OKC and playing with a bunch of young.
Nah, just hurt Westbrook.
So then, like I said, you got Shea there. Danilo Gallinari has been a nice piece. And then, so y'all are saying basically they finished above the Rockets, though. Like, I mean, I get that Westbrook is going to get the slander regardless, but especially right now, when Harden went down, when Harden was just trash for like 10 straight games or whatever, Westbrook kind of kept their head above water.
We're not arguing that. We arguing that Westbrook plus MVP Paul George couldn't get more wins than CP3 and company.
Well, it's a totally different team.
No, same coach. Same coach, right?
Yeah.
And
there's a lot of
you gotta air quote wash CP3. Well, floor general.
Yeah, we can see he's not washed.
And you substitute MVP Paul George for Shea, a young player coming up, and what's buddy name?
Yeah, Danilo Gallinari.
Okay. Yeah, see, no.
Yeah, I'm saying though, it's a different team, different dynamics, different everything, bro. It's different.
No.
It's different. It's a different team.
MVP Paul George still better than both of them guys.
Yeah, it's a different squad.
And you still got Schroeder there, same coaching staff. Adam's still there, right?
Where did the Thunder finish last year?
6th, I'm pretty sure.
Hell no, I wasn't that low, was it?
It was.
I'm pretty sure it was 6th. I'm pretty sure the current Thunder's like.
Who did they play? They played the Blazers first round.
Yeah.
And
Blazers was 3rd, right?
Yeah, let me look at that real quick. So the Thunder last year in the Western Conference, they finished 6th. Wow, you're right. You were spot on with that. They finished 6th with 49 wins, and that set them up for. Oh yeah, I forgot the Blazers were actually like 3rd seed last year.
Like I said, if they finish above that,
if they go to the second round, oh my god. If they go
that was the original. Well, because we're discussing two things here. That was the question. How far do y'all expect? Because right now, just right now, they're 5th seed. That would today set them up with their first round with the Rockets. That right now,
please.
The playoffs starts.
I need that.
I think the way it's
crazy.
I think the way it's moving with the Rockets, I see them probably going up to like 3 or 2 because they're only 2 games behind second seed. So I think it's going to move up a little bit. But yeah, like you said, fingers crossed. I would love to see that. But yeah, so is this OKC thing going to be like, oh, it's cool, they were a good team and they were a nice story, but first round out? Or y'all looking at them like, oh,
just to keep the chaos going, I want to go to the second round.
You want them to go to the second round, but you don't believe that's
no, I don't believe they go to the second round.
Right. What about you?
So who they play right now?
Right now, they play the Rockets. Right now.
Yeah, I think Rockets could beat them.
Yeah, I think
the Rockets will win too. But just the narrative of if they finish with a better record and a higher seed, then.
Oh yeah,
I'm just saying Westbrook and George be looking funny in the light.
There will certainly be a narrative, but especially like with Westbrook carrying Harden's luggage for that time that he was trash, and now that they've got the team built solely around Harden and Westbrook, and Westbrook is really thriving in that, there'll be no merit to go and look at it and saying
people will though.
Oh, people will absolutely,
and I will watch every bit of that
because you gonna see that be on the memes and everything. Absolutely, you gonna see that. That's going to be there, but there'll be no merit to it if the trend keeps going because Westbrook's thriving right now and there's no Simmons system. This is awesome to watch.
It goes back to him being a floor general. I mean, Westbrook not being a good floor general, and he can't be the leader of that championship team. So basically, you're saying if Westbrook was on the Thunder right now with the same exact roster CP3 has, you don't think they'd be as good? No. I mean, I'm saying CP3. That's his value mostly at the floor. Yeah, is like letting other. Yeah. He's not gonna like hit buzzer beater on one leg. That's probably not even a knock on Westbrook to say that the Thunder wouldn't be as good. I think that's more of a play style thing. I think CP3. You point guard, fan. You said that's like a knock. I'm sitting here trying to like get Westbrook. And that's because we're not just talking about no modern point guard. We're just talking about fulfilling your typical point guard duties. I'm saying as defined by the role. I'm saying it's not a knock because CP3's play style is just better suited for this young Thunder team than Westbrook's would be. I just think it is, and everything with the space and all that. At this position Westbrook plays, his main job is to ball handle and facilitate. He's always played a bit like a shooting guard, though. Yeah, we see that. He has a lot of shooting guard tendencies. We've seen that over the years. Yeah, we've clearly seen that. Oh man, yeah. So let's just say the Thunder at 5th seed are either going to play. Let's just say if they stayed 5th seed, right? They are likely going to play either the Rockets, Clippers, or Nuggets. That's basically their options because Utah is playing really bad lately. They're only half a game behind the Thunder. Technically, they could still end up in that top 4, but they're going to play a top 4 team, and it's not going to be the Lakers, obviously. It's going to be those. It's going to be those teams that are interchanging between 2 and 4 right now. That's one of those teams. It's like a lottery for who would get OKC. That's a really shitty first round to get if you're one of those top teams. Yeah. Like you don't want to play OKC in the first round. It'd be a good series to watch. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, you get OKC versus Houston in the Battle of LA in the Western Conference Finals. Oh my God, you can't ask for a better postseason. This might shape up. If we get the right stars to align, this might be one of like the best playoffs ever. Absolutely, like, with the narratives and everything. Yeah, I mean, I think most people would give OKC the best chance against the Nuggets just based off of the personnel. I think that's probably it. Nobody thinks OKC would beat the Clippers. I don't think. Yeah, I don't get ate up trying to do all that. Yeah, that is pretty interesting though. That is pretty interesting too. Like, what is Adams' place in a Rocket series? Like, knowing how the Rockets play now, like, that is kind of interesting. That'd be interesting to see. Chasing 3-point shooters around out there. Right. That would be very interesting. Westbrook dropping 40 on his man. Yeah, but let's it's impossible just because again, only 3 games separating 3 from 6 right now in the West, so it's impossible to know where any of this is going to end up. But fingers crossed, man. Fingers crossed. OKC and Houston for the culture, absolutely need it. But I still think first round. Unless they play the Nuggets, I still see first round out for OKC. So that's how I would answer that question. Moving on to this is another question about the San Antonio Spurs. Actually, somebody actually inquired about the Spurs, and I feel like we've all forgotten about them now. Nobody cares about San Antonio anymore. They're they are all the way down here. They are at 11 seed,
only technically still in the playoff race. Like if you give the Blazers a chance, I guess you give the Spurs a chance as well. But they wanted to know anyways, like what do y'all see happening to the Spurs after this season? Because this will be the first time in like 20 something years that they didn't make the playoffs. And so the Spurs don't end up in the playoffs this year. You think that's pretty much it for this whole thing, blowing everything up? And
yeah, I think it'll get blown up, and I think Popovich is going to retire soon.
Do you think he's gonna retire? Y'all give him this year?
Not necessarily like this year, but like within the next 2 or 3 years, he's gonna retire.
3 years max.
Wow, really? So
Harden is 70, ain't he?
Because he's not a young dude either.
Yeah. So y'all think he will stay after this year if they don't make the playoffs?
I don't know how his contract looking like, but yeah.
But yeah, whatever contract he's on, when it's up, I think.
I mean, he could bounce from that anytime he wants though. Like if you're ready to be done.
I don't see him as someone to leave money.
Yeah, I don't see him leaving like this.
Right,
yeah,
right.
I'm about to play. I'm out of here, man.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, but it's difficult though because the Spurs might start a rebuilding process like this year. Because what are you gonna do with if y'all don't make the playoffs this year with DeRozan and Aldridge? You gonna keep that around?
You gonna have to move him if you can.
Yeah, especially because DeRozan's about to be a free agent same summer as Giannis, right?
No, if they like go full rebuild, I think they trade both of them.
Yeah, and then at that point, that'd be interesting to see if Popovich would stick around to coach a rebuild.
You don't got a temperament for all that.
Yeah, it's not even that. Just like what's the your Hall of Fame coach?
He looks stretched out. Tomorrow, look at him.
Like I think at that point, I mean, the Spurs will probably be happy to still have him around just because it's Popovich. But and yeah,
well, it's time for Timmy D to take the helm.
Yeah,
Timmy D is coach.
Timmy D. I was saying like it'd be a couple of years to kind of develop.
Yeah, Timmy
Duncan as his replacement, but yeah.
I haven't read any stories on that at all. If Tim Duncan, I mean, he's on the coaching staff now, so he obviously probably aspires to be a head coach one day, which would be. But then you also have the girl on their staff. Yeah, you have her on the staff as well, so that whole thing is interesting. But yeah, DeMar DeRozan actually he has he has a player option now. The 2020 season, the 2020-21 season is an option. Oh, wait, he's about to be a free agent now. I didn't know that.
I mean, is he gone?
I mean, I knew that, but like I knew it was soon. I didn't know it was now. Oh, yeah, he out of there.
Well, not necessarily. Where can he go?
Huh?
He's gonna pick that up.
He can go anywhere.
You said he gonna pick. So I mean, it is okay.
Where he gonna go? Who gonna sign him for big money?
It is a $27 million option.
Okay, no one's gonna pay him that.
Yeah, no one paying that, man.
Y'all don't think nobody giving DeRozan that kind of contract?
I mean, not even the Penguins doing that.
Yeah, right.
Penguins is lingo for Magic. If you're a new listener, Orlando Magic. That's like the running joke on the podcast. We say they got Penguins in their front office. So,
Spinning in chairs.
I didn't think about that. You're right. So if you don't feel like you can get nearly $30 million somewhere a year, yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I'd be mad at my team if they signed DeRozan for increasing from 27.
I'm pretty sure they try to shop him around on low. They ain't get no.
Damn, I didn't realize that because they didn't trade him, but that would make sense. Who would want to? Yeah. And then, a team, that would have been a hard trade because it's a player option. So, like, you would have to convince a team, like, what if you pick up that option, too? Now you didn't have $27 million.
Mid-ranger.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, DeRozan.
What's Aldridge, the situation?
LaMarcus Aldridge, he signed there in 2016. So, I'm pretty sure he still has some years up. These are two teams that can help. These are two players that can help another team somewhere.
Yeah, they can.
Just not be, like, the main, guys anymore. LaMarcus Aldridge is now 34 years old. Wow, man. We about to lose another one soon as far as dudes who've been around for a while. He's just under a solid 2 years. So 2021 is his last. So next season is his last option. $24 million, 15% trade kicker. Interesting. And so we'll look at that. I think DeRozan is definitely going from San Antonio though.
Yeah,
unless
he either leaves or he stays because he wants to keep
that money. I don't know where his mind is yet, but like, does he want to play? Because I assume DeRozan want to win something, but if money talks.
But if he opts in, I still think Spurs are going to trade him. I think I'm gonna trade both.
If he opts in, there's nowhere to trade him because because like then he a free agent
for pennies.
Because you're paying him 27. Yeah,
I trade for pennies.
All right, yeah. So the Spurs' future looks a little bit gloomy right now, unless they make the playoffs, which they still can. Like I said, they are literally right there with the Blazers and the Pelicans. But I think with the way things are trending, it's more likely if anybody would be the Pelicans right now. That could change when Lillard comes back. Wow, was that? Oh, okay. Somebody asked a question. I'm trying to get through the season topics, basically. I guess this counts as a season topic. Knowing about the young guys that we have this season. Somebody asked who would we be starting our franchise with? But this is kind of easy. I don't know why I wrote this down. Tatum, Luka, or Zion. But I think it's kind of easy. If you were starting a franchise, who would you pick up? Maybe it's not. Looking at Eric's face, I don't know. If you were starting a franchise, which one of those three are you?
I can see people picking Luka.
Are you picking Luka though?
No, I'm not.
Oh, you're not?
I can see people picking Luka though.
Oh wait, so who are you picking then?
I'm gonna be weird. All right, I go with Luka. This for the fuck with. Let's fuck with people. I go.
Nah. Who are you actually picking?
Luka easy to build around.
Oh, so that's who you actually picking?
Yeah, I go with Luka.
I'll pick Zion. Even though it's high risk, high reward.
True. That is very high risk.
You a Boston guy? You take Tatum? Nah, he think it's Zion.
Oh no, I was actually gonna say Luka.
Oh yeah.
I was actually gonna say Luka right now. I'm starting. Yeah. I mean, I love Tatum, but like I've never been a biased Boston fan. I've never been a biased fan, like, period.
I'm just out here gambling.
Y'all never y'all never heard me guaranteeing Boston championships, like actually being serious about it. I troll a little bit, but like I've never actually, like, even in all these years with the Warriors, I never thought we could actually beat them in the series. But I thought that one was pretty easy. Yeah, it's been some weird shit going on as far as NBA arenas in 2020. First of all, I didn't understand this one. I'll see if y'all understand it. The Celtics played the Jazz like 2 nights ago, and Hayward got booed the whole game, basically every time he touched the ball in Utah. And that was weird to me because he left in 2017. And I thought, like, when you have like really strong like booing hatred for a player, they really screwed your franchise in some way, or there was a really nasty breakup or something, to be booing this many years later, right? Yeah. And they were committed. I'm talking like it didn't die like throughout the whole game. I'm pretty sure they booed him the whole game. Would y'all think that was justified, or was there?
Yeah, that's strange.
Because the way he left Utah was just he was a free agent. He just left.
And then also, it's not like the team all of a sudden became, like dumpster juice.
They got Spider Mitchell that year.
Yeah, they got Mitchell that same year and made the playoffs. And
so and obviously you saw what happened, how he played. So it's not like they were really missing anything.
Just Utah people. I don't know how they do it.
Yeah,
that's a funny thing. I never noticed this.
Well,
I'm sure they played before already.
I had because Hayward, maybe he was out some games. I don't
don't watch Jazz games, man.
That one was weird though. That was just weird to see them. I like somebody brought up the fact that I guess do y'all still boo Dwight Howard? Magic still boo Dwight Howard?
Probably.
They still.
They were booing T-Mac for a while
get over
too.
it, man.
I mean, because what I said was to that response, I was like, I can understand Dwight more than Hayward, just because Dwight Howard first had a nastier breakup, and then he was an MVP type player, and then the Magic is still doo-doo this many years later as a result of him leaving. So I can understand that, but when you like somewhat thriving, I guess, without a guy that was supposed to be like a max player or whatever, I don't know. I didn't really understand the boos there.
That's strange.
Yeah, the other weirdness was what you sent to the group, the Honey Nut Cheerios in Indiana. That was the most random thing. Yeah, did you get to see it?
No, I didn't see
They were cheering Honey Nut Cheerios.
Well, Carmelo was shooting some free throws.
That's fucked
in
up,
Indiana.
Bro.
Yeah, I'm like, bro.
Straight savage.
Indiana people, I don't know.
Yeah, that was also weird too. Cause I was like,
fan, that's wild.
There were some fans like that happened so long ago. There were some fans that didn't even know what that was actually about. Like they were like, "What does that mean?" Like,
that's crazy.
Because that happened
that was a while ago.
That happened in 2012 or 2013.
That's Boston KG. That's
yeah,
crazy.
Exactly. KG. Yeah, like, that's a long time ago, bro. I think that was. I can't remember. I think it was 12 or 13. I think it was 13. I think Boston was over the hill by that point. Oh yeah, for those of y'all listening who don't know, yeah, that was Carmelo Anthony and KG got into a like tussle mid-court, and it was all good, but then like you saw Carmelo Anthony like really get like snapped, like he started following him and shit like that, and he tried to meet him after the game in the tunnel, right?
He said some disrespectful shit though.
Yeah, and he said apparently KG said something along the lines of somebody Carmelo Anthony loves tastes like Honey Nut Cheerios, allegedly.
That's wild, bro.
Allegedly, something like that. And so that was back in 2013. We had grainy footage of like the bus confrontation outside, and he had like cops there and stuff, and whatever he said to Carmelo got him really odd. So that was just weird though in 2012, especially Indiana of all places.
How Melo reacted to it?
Nobody reacted. I don't think did
he didn't face. He still hit the free throws.
Yeah, I mean,
okay.
If anything, he probably just caught him off guard.
Yeah,
that's just a level of savagery. You're just not expanding on a Wednesday night.
Yeah, like this is Blazers Melo. Like he at the end of his career now. Nobody really remembers what that had. And then it's Indiana too. Like if Boston is yelling it, maybe I get it. Like Indiana, what this got to do with y'all?
Out of pocket.
Yeah, that's strange. Yeah, that's strange as hell. One more. Yeah, this is like pretty much two more things, but one more NBA question. Somebody's asking us: are y'all now deeming Dennis Smith Jr. a bust after 2 years? Yeah, is Dennis Smith Jr. now a bust? He averages.
Well,
he doesn't play much at all, actually.
Well, he was in the same draft with Lonzo, and we had to talk about Lonzo about the situation too. But at least Lonzo had flashes. I don't know what Dennis Smith's skill set is.
Well,
I don't
check
know
it out though. Like Dennis he was decent when he came into the league. Then he got into a bad situation where he was decent with Dallas. He started off averaging 15 points with Dallas, 15 points, 5 assists. Not efficient by any means, but something you could see where this might go.
Picked up Luka.
Yeah, then he picked up Luka, and it was all right, you got to go, fam.
Yeah, he couldn't shoot, so
they sent him to New York.
And you already know how that goes.
Yeah, New York is like the new Orlando where careers go to die.
I got a question. How much minutes he averaged with Knicks?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Right now, first of all, he's only played 34 games. Yeah, and
is he injured?
Nah, he's just not really playing.
15
minutes a game. But I mean, it's New York though, bro.
No,
it's New York.
The fact that it's New York, the fact that it's New York, he's not getting minutes.
They have better options. Do you on the Knicks?
No,
what?
It's New York. Nothing in New York makes sense.
Are they playing Frank? Like who they? I'll watch Nick games.
EP give PT over him?
Nothing in New York. Nothing in New York makes sense. See, it's like he has articles here of Dennis Smith Jr. addressing inconsistent playing time. There's a lot of fuckery going on over there. I'm not labeling him a bust yet. Because he at least started. You saw flashes when he started. He needs a situation.
Yeah, his rookie. That's it though. I didn't see.
Yeah, but I mean, we can all agree that the Knicks is about as toxic as it gets.
Yeah,
as far as
even Knicks is also ran by Penguins. But
I'll still a new creature for them.
I
don't know what kind of creature they got.
But
there.
You still play your best players.
Look,
so Frank and EP, I don't know if he's still on the team, are better options than.
All right,
Dennis.
look, I'm gonna put it this way. I don't care what Knicks fans saw from Dennis Smith, because what you often hear from like teams like this that nobody really watches, they go like, "Oh yeah, you don't watch our games. Like this guy is he doesn't play good, or when this happens, or he does this." Like kind of how Pistons fans were talking about Reggie Jackson. Look, I don't care. All right. Dennis Smith was decent, halfway decent before he got to New York. He's halfway decent. He's there now. Whatever flashes you've seen that you don't like for him, before we call him a bust, we let him go somewhere with some opportunity first, and then I'll call him a bust. That's the way I'm working.
22 years contract.
Huh?
He on a rookie contract.
Yeah, he's like 22 years old, man. That's the other thing. We all older than him here. He's 22 years old. He's under contract until 2021. He'll probably be,
What's the difference for him and Lonzo?
What do you mean?
When we had that same discussion about Lonzo.
Oh yeah, Lonzo wasn't definitely not a bust, but what was it? What do you mean?
Well, I'm saying like we had to entertain the Lonzo being a bust, even though he had better.
Oh well, difference with Lonzo is that Lonzo's had a bunch of injuries throughout his career. He had the ankles and stuff like that. But
Dennis is fully healthy.
We've seen flashes.
And also, we've seen Lonzo at least try to fix his shot.
Yeah, I don't know what.
And Lonzo's been playing better. Lonzo's not a bust too.
But I'm saying Dennis have worse situations. He's not injured.
Yeah, here's a situation where Dennis Smith Jr. to me has had one of those situations that's been terrible for a young player coming into the league, because he hasn't had anywhere to settle, is what I'm trying to say. Stuff like that is important. Like when you go to Dallas and you start, you're not that efficient, but Dallas isn't a good team anyways. You put some points up on the board, and then the guy comes in and takes your role, basically takes the ball handling away from you. That's what happens when Luka gets there. Then you get sent to a trash franchise. Like, fam, this happens to some players. You know what I mean?
He's a small guard that can't shoot. I don't know.
It's an opportunity thing.
Okay,
he'll get better.
The only problem now is that because he's been on this poverty franchise, he only has a couple more places to bounce left before he really starts looking funny in the light. So when he does get somewhere else, like he's gonna need, even though he's young, he needs to make some kind of impact.
I think at 22 there'll be more,
because right now it's a buddy team. The rookie.
Talking about the Knicks? Oh, you're talking about
Thumb.
That's wild. I don't think the Knicks.
What's his name?
I don't think the Knicks
I'm missing his name. RJ.
You're talking about the Knicks to me don't actually have like a player where you say it's their team though. Like,
we know
RJ hasn't even been having that great of a season.
But we know that's what he focused at.
Yeah, they're hoping to build something out of that, and I don't know what else they're hoping for, to be honest with you. I'm just Hey y'all do whatever y'all want, but I don't never label guys.
I'm trying to figure out. I couldn't think of his name. I know y'all know him as.
I was about to say, what's the bus limit? What the fuck was I talking about? I was about to say, what's the bus limit? What I meant by what is there like shouldn't there be like an age or something like that where you say like, what's the point to where you can't call this player a bust yet? Like we should have an age for that, right? Like or a certain amount of years. Yeah, a certain amount of years in the NBA. Yeah, so like there should be a certain amount of years where it's like you can't say he's a bust until.
Do we give like let's say you get drafted like 19? Do we give you like a development period?
I'll give him that rookie contract.
Yeah, that rookie contract because he got drafted in. He got drafted in.
When they get that extension or how it works, that fourth year, we got to see something.
He got drafted in 17.
Right.
I think there's exceptions. Like, if you're a first pick and you come in and you ass out the gate, and then, like...
Well, you a lottery. I mean,
yeah. First picks get judged harsher. Because if you got picked first and it's the second year and you still out here with like 5 points and like 2 rebounds or something like that, people already on you with the bus.
Why stop at lottery picks?
But I think it depends on how high you're drafted, because a lot of these players don't pan out. A lot of them don't.
The draft is a lottery. It's called.
I got a question. So second round can't be bust, right? Because he's second round.
Yeah, and you can't be a bust in the second round. So you can't be a bust in the second round.
So deep first round can be considered bust still? I thought we stopped at lottery.
Huh? Interesting. I was talking about the amount of years.
6 years pick in the first round, we can't have no bust.
Yeah, because like the bust literally comes from expectations. So
lottery, right?
I guess.
Those were expectations on the highest.
That or some players that fall out of the lottery, but they were like really good in college, and people were saying, "Oh, this guy is a steal for some team," and then maybe I don't know. But then that's a gamble. Or like when a player like
Kuzma was like late first round, but he's playing way better than anyone expected him to play.
Yeah, but now he's getting a lot of roast though.
I mean, from his rookie year until like before this year, he's playing better than we expected.
I stop at lottery because we know the expectations from the lottery pick.
I meant the amount of years though. Is what I meant.
I'm saying they rookie years, so the rookie seasons comes for the 3 years, what, plus 1, 4 years max?
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Like we discussed Wiggins. Wiggins isn't a bust, is he?
No.
Right? Because
shit. Nah, Wiggins was.
How many years we waited on Wiggins?
The problem with Wiggins is that he didn't meet. Well, he didn't turn into what we thought he was going to turn into.
People said Hall of Fame for Wiggins. Yeah. But I still somehow I'm not ready to call him a bust yet, because he could be a really important part to the Warriors next year.
See, but we got to clarify.
And he still put up some numbers on a bad team. It's not like he came in and averaged 5 points.
You went number 1, but we settled for something less. You still got to be called a bust, man.
Yeah, but I mean, he's proven that he could score on this level.
But I'm saying, if you're drafted number 1, we can't settle for what you producing.
So Wiggins is a bust right now?
You gotta be a bust, man. You gotta throw him in the bust category.
Damn, word?
It's number 1.
So you down there with Kwame Brown?
The thing is,
Anthony Bennett.
He's a cool role player.
The thing is with Wiggins, he's came in and he's had his 24 or 22 point per game years. Like, when I think of bust, I'm talking about like, yo, you came in and you just like doo doo, bro. Like you came in with like single digit.
Like you're in the G League now, or you're a journeyman.
I just thought the higher you go in the lottery, the more expectations.
Wiggins hadn't turned into a bench player at any point.
I mean, he
playing for the Wolves, but
he's a good role player, starter caliber.
I can't call Wiggins a bust, Rody. Having him on the Warriors next year, where he's going to be.
Oh yeah, we don't see this Harrison Barnes transformation.
Wiggins is not
number 1 pick. Settle for Harrison Barnes. All right, cool.
Oh my gosh. We still have more to talk about, so I'm sure the bust situation or debate will come back up more in future podcasts, and people will continue to ask, is this player a bust? Yeah, and I don't think there was ever a clear answer from y'all with Dennis Smith Jr. I said no, he's not a bust right now.
I gotta give him another year.
Yeah, I mean he's playing for the Knicks right now. He got a pass for a little while.
Yeah, I have sympathy for guys playing for the Knicks. Poverty. What else are we looking at? I had the NBA Dawkins situation right now, but I don't know. I'm only gonna discuss that if y'all know anything about it. Y'all. You
mean talking about how it's so hard to find footage because it's just NBA monopolizes it?
Kind of. Like, are y'all familiar with Dawkins' channel at all?
Didn't he have like
Free Dawkins?
Yeah, Free Dawkins. Vintage
Dawkins.
Yeah. Did y'all didn't realize at some point this week that shit is like cooked now, like it's gone.
They took it down, all of it?
Well, they didn't really take it down, it per se. Yeah,
Can you see it or not?
First of all, everything is gone. Vintage Dawkins, so like all the Tim Duncan and Amari Stoudemire like videos, all that's gone.
You can't even find that nowhere else.
Yeah, Free Dawkins is down to like, he has like 5 videos on the channel basically. The NBA, I actually talked to him because he's on Twitter as well, and we've been using his footage for a lot of years. Basically, what happened with him, there was other ones too. Y'all remember Eximo Pierto, the other channel, the NBA Highlights channel? Yeah. So the thing that happens is you have House of Highlights, and House of Highlights basically hired some of those guys. Like I think Eximo is with House of Highlights now, so they hired him as editors. And the thing is, like, if you watch House of Highlights videos, sometimes I'll see like they have a 60-point night from Damian Lillard recapped in like a minute and a half. Yeah, like fam, how you do 60 points in a minute and a half?
Like, you don't show everything.
Yeah, and it's like, so I get if the NBA wants to completely take possession of their highlights or whatever, and they want to get rid of somebody like Dawkins, or you want to consolidate and have like Eximo come with you, I get it. But why not provide the same quality stuff? Because they were all beforehand. You would see everything. You see the whole play.
Well, House Highlights actually paid by NBA, right?
House of Highlights is like a
Bleacher
whole.
Report.
That's like their thing. Yeah, they're a whole of partners. Yeah, they work with Bleacher Report and everything. So that's a legitimate thing.
Right.
But yeah, I'm saying you can't take away something and then offer an alternative that's at least comparable.
Yeah.
To what you took.
Yeah. So there's that problem, and they did Dawkins really wrong too as well. Because like there's a lot of people who don't have answers on Dawkins, but I've actually talked to them, so I know some of the situation going on. So this is important for any of the listeners as well too. But Dawkins, they basically screwed out of. They basically suffocated him by just not paying him. So he was with the network, the NBA network, and they suffocated him by basically what it, to me sounds like breaking contract, because they don't pay. He told me they weren't paying him anymore, and when he complained about it, basically they came out and was like, yo, shut up, or we're gonna ask for the money we paid you before back. And I guess through the contract, I guess they can actually do some gangster shit like that. I guess
That's messed up.
Yeah, so there's that, and the man had a contract with like FIBA and everything, and so FIBA is a different thing. He had a contract with them for different highlights. The network he was with was not supposed to be taking money from those videos, yet they did. Like, he's in a whole situation. So that's basically what happened. They didn't go through and strike Dawkins' videos out, but they choked him out basically, because how are you going to keep making these highlights if you're not being compensated or whatever? And it's also weird too, because now I believe that what's left, if you're not looking at House of Highlights, I guess MLG Highlights, is that one that y'all came across?
Yeah.
Cause I think MLG actually shows like every shot made.
MLG actually shows like
every shot
that's made, not just like.
That was interesting to me, because I want MLG. Obviously, I want that to be around.
Absolutely.
Like, why would you want less footage around on the like that? That's crazy.
Someone dropped 6. I want to see how he got this 6.
Yeah. So
also, if you don't have time to watch the whole game, at least want to see all the baskets.
Yeah, I definitely hope MLG stays around, but I definitely didn't understand how they got around to choking Dawkins' channel out, and then you still have MLG around too. So I have no clue what's going on there either.
Well, do MLG got a contract with NBA?
Well, the thing is, the dudes like I said, they took Eximo in. They took Eximo in for House of Highlights. Okay. They got some of those guys. I think maybe even there was one around a while ago called GD Factory Highlights, GD Highlight Factory or something like that. That's what he's a little bit of the older one. I believe he was with House of Highlights as well, but I know Eximo is. I saw that. But yeah.
When you say took him in now after the situation or prior?
I don't know how long they've been in.
Oh, okay.
Because the whole thing with Eximo gets interesting, because there still is a channel out there called Eximo Prieto, but it's not as good and consistent, and other people have made names off of that now. So I didn't even know until I had to go search. I had to go search for other reasons of where he actually was, and I found him with House of Highlights. But yeah, if y'all are wondering, that is what did happen to Dawkins, and that's like years of footage, bro.
Yeah,
like,
no pun intended, but free Dawkins for the
right?
For real, dog.
Yeah, because the whole vintage channel is actually like, why? Like after I found that out, like I went and typed in Tracy McGrady highlights because I wanted to see what would pop up.
Yeah, because there's some stuff that like. The NBA doesn't have like haven't released the vault. Like, some stuff you can't see.
Yeah.
So I got what they do Harvard Classics? Is that not a thing no more?
Well, Harvard Classics I think still plays on NBA TV sometimes.
But you got to pay to see the
no, like just NBA TV. Like if you have NBA TV, like sometimes when there's nothing else going on, they'll show a Hardwood
But like
Classic.
for the games that Rob referring to, the vintage T-Mac, where can I find those stuff like
the whole game?
Yeah, it's no database.
Like I said, there's no vault open.
So what you're talking about is a project that was supposed to happen many years ago. I don't know if I can find the article anymore. I'll try to find it afterwards. But I remember back in because I used to be really interested in finding old footage, because I used to do other stuff back around 2015, and I've ran into articles that said the NBA was trying to like digitize all of their stuff, like from the 50s and 60s. Oh yeah,
that was years ago.
Wait, you heard about this project too?
I heard about that too.
Yeah, and they were gonna have everything digitized, and they were gonna have like a library that fans could pay for, but then could use that footage for whatever they wanted. So for like mixes, like you want to make a Bill Russell mix, you can't. It's kind of hard to make a Bill Russell mix right now. You can't really find nothing. You start replaying plays or whatever. But yeah, they were gonna have like a whole thing like that, which I thought was a beautiful idea, because it'd be awesome. Like if I had a website right now, I can go click on like 1966 and just find like everything that happened that season. Beautiful idea, but I guess they just gave up on it. I guess it got too expensive because they have to convert a lot of that footage, I guess, as well. But that's what you're talking about, and it never happened. I'll try to find the article after we done podcasting, but yeah, they don't have anything like that, and it's very limited. Like the NBA, as much as they're like pioneers of like using technology to. I think out of all the sports, it feels like they're the best with like media because we have an NBA Twitter. I don't think we really have like NFL Twitter. Like I don't think that's really like a thing or MLB Twitter. It's as big as NBA Twitter, you know?
No, not at all. Not as big. No.
Yeah, they use this stuff, but then like you just said, if I wanna see a specific game from T-Mac back in like 2002. Like maybe I'll find something in 240p that was uploaded in like 2009. It's like
early days of YouTube,
right? It's like barely visible anymore. I'm finding Vince Carter dunks from like 2007 that look like they were filmed with like a microwave. Like it's crazy. But whenever you watch these shows like ESPN, they have like super crystal clear footage of like 1965
right.
or my bad, not 1960, like 1998 or something like that. So you're like, where is all this for the fans? That'd be an awesome thing. So hopefully with House of Highlights and taking in Eximo and stuff like that, they have a plan with that because they've choked out Free Dawkins as well, and hopefully they have some way to make that up. But that is very interesting to see Vintage Dawkins go away and be choked out like that because I wonder if the NBA realizes how many of its fans are just like actually casual. You know, some people watch. That's how they keep up with the NBA. They watch highlights like that or historical NBA. That's how they keep up with that type of stuff. So, but yeah, that is what happened to Free Dawkins. He was done dirty, and I don't know if there's any.
Yeah, that shit crazy. Shout out to him, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Because the fact that they just decided to stop paying him.
Yeah, that's messed up.
That's basically it. We're gonna move on because we do actually have a good amount of non-basketball stuff to talk about today. But I did want to read off the standings because this is getting hot. We don't have that long left. I accidentally X'd out everything. All right, so in the standings, what we're looking at right now. LA 1, Denver 2, Clippers 3rd, Rockets 4th. Thunder 5, that's crazy, man. Jazz 6, Mavs 7, Grizzlies 8. Grizzlies are they're sliding, but the Pelicans can't win. It seems like the Pelicans can't win quick enough to take over that AFC. They're still 3 games behind. They play the Lakers again on Sunday. How are you supposed to beat the Lakers twice in less than a week? I don't know how that was supposed to happen, but I don't know. We just keep our fingers crossed. Milwaukee is 50-8. That is a beautiful record. Toronto at number 2. They're 42-16. Boston is right behind them. Oh wow, so 1, 2, and 3 are basically locked at this point. I didn't realize that. Miami's like 5 games behind 3rd, so that would take a significant slide now for Miami to move up there. Miami and Philly are tied for 5th. Pacers 6th, Brooklyn 7th, and Magic are 8th. Oh, okay, and yeah, Washington basically is out now. 4.5 games. I don't think that's gonna be made up. Not at the pace things are going. All right, so those are the standings, and yeah, that is the NBA portion of the podcast. Couple of topics here. Where do we start? We're gonna start off less savage first. We had a question from I had a question from a fan that was asking us the Infinity War Endgame. It's been like a year now since Endgame happened, damn near. So it is interesting to be discussing this far away. But now that everything is settled in, where years pass, I did want to see where would y'all go with that? How would y'all answer this question with Infinity War Endgame? Yeah, as far as movie, yeah. I guess what's better.
Are we comparing it to or how they age?
Not just like which one. It was just Infinity War or Endgame. That was the question. Infinity War or Endgame.
What's hard to, I don't know, like Endgame, fam, they got the most iconic Avengers symbol scene, fam.
Well, first of all, have y'all watched Endgame since?
Yeah, I watched it a couple times on Netflix already.
Oh, you've seen it a couple times, okay.
Yeah.
I just got 3 hours lying around right now, so I might have seen.
I don't know though. Netflix is still.
I might have seen it again, but I don't recall if I have or not.
Right.
Yeah, I watched both of them in theater and in the privacy of your home. That's when it hit a little different at the crib. But.
Well, that's what I was gonna say because I just like 3 weeks ago I tried to watch Endgame at home, and that's where I came to the conclusion like Endgame to me wasn't as great at home as it was in the theater at all. Like it was. I think its drop off is kind of significant.
Did you watch Infinity War at home?
Yeah, Infinity War I watched at home.
It didn't. No
still
drop off.
hit, yeah. But Endgame, the problem I thought, well, it's not even a problem. It's just that, again, Endgame is the second half of Infinity War, obviously. Yeah. And so it's way slower for a while, all heading up to that point at the end, which gave you chills in the theater. But it's a lot of dead time when you're not in the theater, like anticipating it is how I felt. So at home I was kind of like, where Infinity War I could pop that on anytime. I feel like Endgame, I feel like I have to watch Endgame as the tail end to all the other movies before I feel like I can't just watch it as a single and enjoy it the same.
Yeah, it's definitely a culmination. But between the two, I'll probably do Infinity War. But partially on what you mentioned with seeing it at home versus the theater, but also I just kind of felt like the time travel was a cop out as far as a plot device.
Well, time travel covers everything, man.
Yeah, whenever you write yourself into a corner, you use time travel.
That is what happened there. I mean, we knew that was gonna happen. How else were we gonna?
Have like another Earth dimension.
I mean, I guess the plan with the stones was to snap everybody back. Wait, but they went and got the stones after he destroyed it. That's what happened. Yeah. So the original plan. Yeah. Okay.
Well, I'll say Endgame, not Endgame, Infinity War, because everybody was shook at the end. Like, yo, what's going on?
Yeah, when bro, when that screen went black.
Yeah, people start
throwing stuff.
I remember all the movie theater went like, oh, like that after it when it cuts and you see like it's gonna be a part 2. That's where it ended. Yeah, there was like
people start getting dusted. I'm like, oh,
the fact that you knew like that year wait starts now, like before that shit hit different at that point. But yeah, I mean, I'm rolling with Infinity War. That's where I'm going.
I go Endgame just because it's the Endgame.
Because it's the Endgame.
I'm saying the symbol scene is amazing, man.
The what?
The symboling scene.
Oh yeah, that shit. That hit hard.
He says, "You copy," and you see the strings circles start spinning.
I might have clapped in the theater. I can't remember.
I'm pretty sure something happened.
I never clap in the theater.
It was that famous video where someone watching at the bar.
Oh yeah, all those people at the
get crazy.
Everyone starts cheering.
Like, yeah, it's in games.
There's never gonna be a movie scene that hits like that. I don't
think.
Not at all. Anytime soon, because that took 10 years plus to build. Yeah, bro. Only it's ever gonna happen.
And plus, we had a tearjerker with Tony Stark. So
yeah, that's true. That didn't make me cry though. I heard people sniffling in the theater when that happened.
Yeah, some people that was crying, like Die Hards and stuff.
Yeah, I just can't cry over fiction. It just don't work.
Hold up, I think I cried a couple times in fiction movies.
Really?
Yeah.
Like what?
I can't name on top, but I cried a lot of times during movies.
Really?
It's the scene, fam. Gets you, dog. You know what I mean?
I don't think I've ever cried during a fiction movie. I gotta have some type of.
I haven't.
Yeah, I gotta.
So it gotta be based off true story for you to cry.
Not pure fiction.
No, yeah, like he said, like I just have to have some type of investment in it.
What you mean by like? Yeah, that's crazy. Y'all weird, man. Y'all robots.
No, I'm saying
don't get twisted.
So you never cried off a movie that wasn't based off true events?
I came close, but like I ain't.
Nah, like even the only memory.
I ain't like out here balling and stuff.
The only memory I ever have of crying in the theater was Paul Walker tribute in Fast 7. I think that's because he died in real life.
Wait, hold up. I'm gonna stop playing with y'all. SpongeBob movie. They're like on the table. And
Tears of Joy.
No, I thought they almost died.
He must have been. You like in the 3rd grade.
Okay, I'm like what?
Yeah, that's different. That's different.
Yeah, I died on a couple movies. I cried on that one. Paul Walker one. I cried on. I can't name on top, man. Couple drama movies.
Yeah, I just can't. I don't have that. Like, it's not even like I'm just like trying to be like, oh, like masculinity. No, it just doesn't happen. Like when it's like not.
Yeah, it's certain scenes that you fan shit hit me though.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, nothing like that for me. It's just like a barrier between.
Oh, I cried on
Titanic.
No, I cried on No, I can't say that shit. I'm looking crazy. No, I'm good, man.
I mean, if it's not in a.
Nah, I want y'all looking like this man wildin'.
Yeah. I'm curious now.
Nah, I can't mention that one, but I cried on I even got a little tear when Guardian Galaxy 2 when Blue Dude died.
Blue Dude died.
Yonder. I got teared up on that one.
Yeah,
man.
He was funny to me. Like
that scene, but when they did the tribute, I teared up when they did the tribute when all the Rivers came out, the Galaxy did like the funeral.
Yeah, no, there was no.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I can't. I don't.
I cried on House, the TV show.
I never
cried
seen
on
that.
Yeah, I cried.
That's a good show.
Yeah.
I cried when Buddy died. The Indian doctor, Kutar. But yeah, like I'm human. Okay, I have emotions.
I'm not saying you're wrong for it. I'm saying I don't have.
We're all not Kawhi here, so I actually cried on a lot of movies.
All right.
I don't even call them based off true story movies.
Say what?
Based off true. I don't cry on those.
Right.
I don't know. Strange.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, this like past the statute of limitations. But I remember when I was like 4 years old, like 3 or 4 years old, when Thomas would take injury would go off, I would cry. Like
what? When you said what?
When I was like, that just popped in my head. When I was 3 or 4, right? So this is way past statute of limitations. 3 or 4, I remember like Thomas take injury would be going off, and I'd be crying like to my mom, like it's over. Like,
yeah, fam.
That's still like daycare days, though. So
I cried on Disney Pixar movies. Yeah,
no, I can't.
It's the writing and this.
You cried on Up, that old man. I don't know.
I cried on
people said they cried
something about Music of the Dead, like a Latin Pixar movie. I don't know. It's certain scenes,
the thing
man.
is, I've cried so infrequently on movies that it's like it's literally in like the 1%, like they're like the 1%.
It's like I got emotions, dog.
Hey, nothing wrong with that.
No, y'all like y'all is.
No, I'm just saying.
Well,
like
he died.
No, I actually can't understand because I don't have like there's just the barrier that's there. But I mean, like I said, hey man, it is what it is. We wrote this down last minute because you had something that you wanted to say about Death Note and Code Geass. You finished Code Geass and you said to compare. You went through Death Note like fast. Well, it still take. You talking about my rewatches of Death Note? I ain't never rewatched it. I'm like, how long did it take you to rewatch Death Note after Code Geass?
3 days.
Yeah,
I've watched Death Note in 3 days before.
Yeah, see, I ain't never done that.
Fact, it's 22 minutes per episode.
40 episodes.
Yeah, I had to put someone's. My cousin came in town. He ain't seen it yet, so we put him through the ringer right quick.
Oh,
so yeah, 3 days.
If I watched Dragon Ball at that pace, I'd be done in 3 days. I'm on episode like 110 right now. So if I watched
I don't know how you haven't finished it yet.
Fam, listen. I got an hour lunch, 22 minutes, episode and a half. Get home, knock out 4. Like, come on, you good, fam.
Well, anyways, because you said you wanted to watch it in comparison. Was it something that came from that? Or
well, I just the comparison of the two. I try to compare which one's better. And I realized it's some. I just heard certain. I hate it. I don't like Masuda. I don't like him.
Oh yeah, that's what you sent to the group. Yeah, what did you say you didn't like?
Idiot cop.
Oh yeah, by the way, this is spoiler. We're discussing spoilers with Death Note, but not Code Geass. So if you haven't seen Death Note, you can slide for a minute.
And the girl was convenient to the plot.
Misa,
like her whole being was to move the story along.
She made perfect sense.
No man.
Yeah, how?
I'm gonna come. Listen, shorty. It's a one-on-one battle of the minds, right? Him versus L. Some random chick comes. Guess what? I can see. I got a Shingon eyes. I'm at your disposal. What?
Yeah, do you remember? But don't you remember why?
Because she loved him.
No.
Because Kira killed her. Kira killed the. Dog.
Robbers.
Yeah,
like
Kira killed the people that killed her parents. Wow.
Yeah,
I know
so
that.
she was in debt.
But fam, it was like it just dropped in his hands.
Still a write-in though, basically.
That's a write-in.
I wanted to be one-on-one the whole series. Like it is me and you.
Right.
If some shorty come, you can do anything on me. You don't gotta date me. You don't gotta love me. Like all this weird stuff.
Well, no, but she did. Once he. The Shinigami stood up for her because like L was like I could kill you, and then what's his name? Her Shinigami. Rim. Yeah, Rim.
I don't like your fan. Like y'all, I don't know. It's still top 5. It is like fan. I feel like she just got to move the plot along.
I thought that made it interesting.
I've got a hot take.
There's
a hot take.
All right, shoot.
About I'm on my list personally. I don't know if Death Note top 5.
Okay, he's being delusional.
Wild right now.
Delusional. But
wait, why? No, go ahead.
Because
I want to hear this.
When I think about animes that I've watched, Death Note's the only one I have ranked that high where there's at least like 15 episodes that were literally not as good as the beginning of the series.
Oh, so you're talking about the mid where after
L died?
Yeah.
Okay, nobody liked his replacement. Like fam,
I'm just saying that as far as ranking stuff, there's literally nothing else where there's literally like 20 to 30% of the entire series that is literally suboptimal compared to the rest.
Well, I only think Yotsuba arc was suboptimal. That shit, nobody likes Yotsuba. The company, that shit sucked.
Yeah.
I mean, compared to the rest of the series, that wasn't as fun. But then it got interesting right after.
Like, fam, like one scene I didn't care for, like when he tricked Ray Pinner's wife to give her his real name.
Yeah.
Fam, he was following her back and forth for good 40 minutes. Like, what you doing?
Well,
he'll walk behind her.
I always take that
walk
as
back. Like, what the hell is this?
I always take that as like perspective interpretations in shows. Like when they show something where it's like in real life, that'd be a dead giveaway.
But fam, it like after she said I can wait later or whatever. And he wrote the name down on a piece of paper, and she walking down the block. He write the name down. We were laughing. Hey, wait a minute.
Then you run back.
Yeah. Then he said, I forgot what to read. Oh, I'm part of the investigation. Blah blah blah. Okay, fine. I walk back, run back. You're not going to see anyone. He's like, fam, what you doing?
I get what you mean with that. Like I said, I thought that was.
But that's just my one thing, because like some people say, like, for let's say example, Yu Hakusho, last 10 episodes weren't as good, but like there's still like 100+ episodes of like high quality content.
Yeah, after they fought the
but my thing is that's just, even though the episode amount isn't necessarily high, as far as percentage of the entire show, is kind of big. So that's just my thing.
Okay.
And plus, this is my first time watching Death Note since I watched it originally.
Right. Oh wow. God damn.
Yeah, I don't know how you can watch this every.
Well,
30
because
days.
when I watched, honestly, when I was watching Death Note is like rap battles to me. Like every time I watch a rap battle, like there's something there that there's some small thing that I didn't notice before. That's kind of how Death Note was for me. Like I noticed something little every single time.
I got the last question for Rod. Who is more intelligent, him or Lelouch? Light or Lelouch?
Did you say Lelouch?
Lelouch is the name character of Code
That's the
Geass.
name of.
It's a weird name. I don't get it.
I thought you said Lelouch, like light in Spanish.
Nah, Lelouch.
It just.
Cause they both genius level.
Right.
Okay, how about this rephrase it? Who demonstrated more of intelligence? Like more intelligent feats?
Well, I mean, you already know what Lelouch did.
Right.
But I feel like, let's say like if both of them had to kill each other.
Right.
I think it would come down. I think it would come down to like if it's just real circumstantial, really.
Right.
Because like let's say if they both knew what they're capable of.
If each one knows each other's
like,
powers.
Yeah, it'll be different versus if it was just blind. But you know what
Right.
Like, both of what they can do is extremely overpowered. It's just
you got to revisit as you watch Code Geass.
Yeah, you know what I was gonna say before y'all watch it. I'm
going
going to.
It's almost a coin toss, but I might give it to Lelouch, given like the kind of odds he was going up against. Like,
and plus, what another thing is, Light whole scenario about losing the Death Note is genius level. I don't know how you predict all that.
How
shit.
you can write that?
Like, fam, this is what I'm gonna do when I lose memory. This happened. This back. Like, that's crazy.
Right. Yeah, so that's a crazy level of intelligence. I am gonna watch. So
he had a contingency plan if he got back into a corner.
That's super crazy.
Actually, I got some more homework for you since you finished Code Geass.
I gotta watch that one manga shot of.
Yo, you want me to send the link again?
Yeah, cause fam.
Sure, it still work.
Every time I click on it.
Yeah, that was the official link.
So you bought? So you finessed?
No. Come on, don't disrespect me.
Last thing you said was big download button. I don't try to do those.
I'm gonna watch Code Geass this week. I'm gonna start this week, and so the next podcast I'll actually be able to jump into a discussion on it because I'm tired of having to Yeah.
Y'all watching it together, right, brothers?
What? Probably not.
No,
because if I watch it with them, it would take me longer.
Okay.
Yeah, I got a couple shows, couple movies that you might want.
Right, bet.
Wait, Rob, if Death Note's not top 5, then what?
No, I don't know my top 5.
No. You can't say that.
I'm saying I'm not sure if it is. I'm not 100.
Oh, okay.
That was my art. I'm saying that. As far as just based on statistics and the amount of the show that I felt wasn't as good. Like, I don't know,
we had a reason.
Does it deserve to be in my top 5?
I thought you said
so. Everyone just universally hates Nier.
It is that he's not L.
It's not as everyone. I think everyone agrees that it drops after L dies.
I mean, yeah, it's definitely not as good, but I thought Nier was still
it's like, yo, fam, we saw L. You a cheap imitation of L. You took off his little nonchalant tendencies.
His tendencies actually mean something, though.
I mean,
and Milo took his candy his sweet thing. Right. He could eat candy bars or some shit. I don't know.
I mean, I understood it from a narrative sense because while the conflict between Light and L was really powerful, but the main plot was centered around more or less just what would having the Death Note affect someone as far as their journey from having it to mentally when they basically have full control. Right. And he wasn't gonna be able to show that until L died.
Right,
so just to show. So I understand from the internal conflict perspective of why that happened is just as far as enjoyment as a viewer. You know, it wasn't as far as, you know, that the battles that they were in.
And at the end of the day, he was still fighting L.
Yeah, that's what, because he said that
more or less
too,
his legacy.
Right, yeah.
Right. Since you rewatch it, it's probably be more fresh in your head. The scene in there that was a reach to me was how Nier discovered, was Mikami the guy that was working with L near the end? Was it Mikami, the lawyer?
Yeah, Mikami, yeah, what was that?
Mikami.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he wasn't working with. He wasn't working with L.
Yeah, remember L sent the death note to somebody else to be able to kill, to like throw everything off. Right? He chose somebody else. Remember, to punish criminals.
Yeah, you mean the.
Stop saying L. You confusing me. You mean Light?
I'm
what the fuck?
I meant Light. My bad. My bad.
I was confused too.
Yeah, my bad. I said that completely wrong. My bad. Light was working with Mikami to throw off Nier. My bad. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. But what threw me off was how, remember the scene when Nier finds out who he is, like when he's in there with all the TV screens, like he had to kind of pick out a needle in a haystack. You remember seeing that, like I guess a couple of days ago, since you just watched it.
Oh, what scene again?
There's a scene because there was like no way to find out who Mikami actually was, because there was Light and Nier.
Oh, the scene where he got all godlike, his eyes went all white.
Because Nier found out that L had somebody, like Light had an accomplice, basically. Found out that Kira had an accomplice, and he was like, yeah, so who would it be, basically? And then like he's in a room with TV screens.
The thing you gotta realize is that the moment that they realized that roles in the Death Note could be faked, that means the evidence that had exonerated Light and Homegirl was basically null and void. So that's why they became suspects.
And that was a good strategy, though.
Wait, but also that was another thing. How did L find out that was fake?
L didn't.
Yeah, he did. He picked out that role, remember? Because then he was gonna test it.
The possibility can be fake, yeah.
Yeah, how do you...
We said L or Light now. I don't know.
No, this one is L.
Okay, L.
He found out the rule was fake, and that's why they killed him, because he was about to...
Well, he was speculation.
Oh, wait, my bad. Light set it up to happen that way so Rim would die, too. Because Rim was the one... Rim found out that L was on to him.
No, I think at that point there was... he had more than enough evidence to basically say that she was a second Kira, but he didn't have enough for Light. But because if she got, that would have... It is in Rim's best interest to protect her. Yeah. So that's why Light had that as leverage, because he knew that he was going to...
And Light set that up, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think L knew right before he got... When Wataru got killed, he knew the shit. He knew something. That's when he already knew.
Well, yeah, no, L had figured it out by that point. Yeah, but I think Light did set it up so that he would figure it out that way. So that...
The eye contact.
So that Rim would kill... So that Rim would kill him, and then in turn Rim would die. That was his whole thing. He knocked off Rim.
I thought he tried to catch him in the arm and look in his eyes with a little grim.
No, it's basically just the ultimate contingency, because Rim was trying to give him trouble.
Yeah, it's too much convenience stuff.
Come on, yeah. See, it's time for me to watch.
He wasn't even playing by house rules. He was just out here cheating.
Right. Yeah. Rim can kill for you. Miss Smith can kill for you. I'm like, all right, bro.
So which one did you end up coming to the conclusion that was better?
Yeah, I went with Code Geass.
Oh shit, Code Geass is better
because the ending is among the greatest anime ending.
I told you.
All right, so I'm gonna know by next, because I'm gonna get on this.
Only reason is I said it's better because the ending and the fact that the main character is similar to Light too.
I'm telling you, after you see the ending, you're gonna be staring.
I can change the world, but I have a super god complex. And
I can't wait to see it.
After you see the ending, you're gonna be staring at the ceiling.
Right.
Damn, I can't wait for this now. Yeah, I'm on this now. Did somebody ask that, or did I write it down? I'm not the. So we're off the Death Note and Code Geass thing now. Beginning to wrap up a little bit. Oh shit! I didn't even get to the Savage. I'm not the NFL guy. What is this? Maybe y'all know. What is this about Brady possibly leaving the Patriots? Like
it's still up in the air. We don't know.
I mean, they haven't heard any confirms. That's why there's a lot of speculation. But is either basically is like, are the Patriots going to re-sign him or not? Because he is technically a free agent. But
why would they? Like, I guess from the outside looking in, all I know is Brady and Patriots. Why would this even be a conversation? Like, is it time for they wouldn't go head over heels?
They speculating that him and Belichick having issues, and plus Tom Brady's old, air quotes,
and also he's given so many discounts for the team in the past. Is like,
he might come back and grip that.
He's like, I'm trying to get a bag this time,
right?
But also, there's like plenty of teams that will want him if he ended up on the market.
Really?
You know, I'm all for the disbanding. So
You said you're all for it.
Hell yeah, I don't like Patriots.
But but if I had to, take a guess, I wouldn't say he's leaving the Patriots.
It's gonna be in one jersey.
He wouldn't, because it would not destroy his legacy, but it would be crazy if like after all this he went and signed with some team that wasn't even competing.
Yeah, especially if he only played it for like a year.
Well, it hurt both of their legacy if they both do trash without each other.
Yeah.
So yeah, because I think at this point, Patriots fans think Tom Brady deserves whatever money that he's asking for, and given how many rings they've won compared to any sporting league, especially given that football is like the hardest one to consistently win rings in, I think that they'd be fine with they'll probably make the playoffs just given like the personnel they have.
Yeah, Robert Kraft got to cut that check, man.
But yeah, I think they need to pay the man.
Yeah, because this is the thing you talk about with players like legend players only having like one jersey by the. And well, that was a thing before LeBron changed the game, but we used to imagine like MJ pretty much only Bulls. Of course, he came back under some different circumstances with the Wizards, and then Kobe Lakers. Like you imagine like the people all the way up there never really wear another jersey, and then I don't know.
The only example of that, of just straight up jersey hopping, was Brett Favre when he faked retirement multiple times.
I'm back, baby.
I was just wondering if there was any merit to that on the outside looking in, and all right, well, that's interesting stuff. I'm gonna wait till you see Sonic before we actually talk about it. You haven't seen Sonic yet, right? Yeah, I'll wait till you actually. I went and saw it finally a couple of days ago. So
what do you think of it? Just
it's a kids movie. It's a kids movie to me. Like it was way more. Like I don't know why I expected something more. I mean, it wasn't a bad movie. I want to start off by saying that I've definitely, especially for a character like that, video game character or cartoon character or whatever, I've seen way worse movies, so it wasn't even a bad movie. Jim Carrey, I thought he did a really good job as Eggman, just from what I was watching, but I also thought it was like, I don't know, I didn't expect it to be so much of a kid's movie though. Is that the vibe you got?
What's the rating on it? Rated?
No,
I didn't look.
No, I definitely knew it was probably gonna be a kids movie, but I thought it was gonna be, I was just supporting it for the culture. I thought it was gonna be like a bad kids movie.
Doesn't Egghead kill people in Sonic?
In Sonic?
Like in the game?
I don't think it ever gets that deep, does it? In the games? Eggman?
I mean, the game mostly just him hitting Sonic.
Do they got the coin thing in there?
In the movie?
Yeah.
They actually integrated it nicely.
Oh, cool.
I thought,
They got Knuckles in here?
No. I just thought about it.
You got Shadow Sonic?
I do want to say that, all right now, I guess it's at a spoiler point, so like, I might have
I didn't see it either, so.
Yeah, you didn't see it either. I'm just saying for the people, like, if you hadn't seen Sonic yet, don't listen any further. All right, now. Yeah, no, Knuckles is not in it. Shadow, none of
Tails
that. It's a basic. He Tails comes at the very end.
Okay.
He comes at the very end.
He's like that to tease a sequel.
Yeah, so it might be a sequel, which hasn't been greenlit yet because they got to see what the money is like.
I mean, they already made the money.
Huh?
Because
I googled it afterwards and they said they hadn't decided on greenlit a sequel.
I mean, but the thing is that the amount of money that they're making, there's gonna be a sequel.
Really, it's doing well.
Yeah, no, it's already like on pace to be like the most profitable like video game movie ever.
I was proud to support it just because like they listened and made a really good design of Sonic. Like it was nice to look at. The graphics were nice and Sonic was nice to look at compared to what they originally released.
Well, to be honest, I think it's the only good video game movie.
Yeah, they might be. I don't know.
I mean, to be honest, you can't really like.
Mortal Kombat was trash.
All of them were.
Both of them was trash.
Didn't they try a couple of years ago to make a Pac-Man movie?
Yeah.
Wasn't that a thing? There was like, I'm pretty sure it was like a Pac-Man type movie.
Mortal Kombat was trash.
About the one that was like they mixed a whole bunch of arcade games. Talking about that one?
It might be. That was like the world was getting destroyed and shit.
Yeah, I don't consider that as a one video game. I'm talking about Mortal Kombat was trash.
What are the video games?
Street Fighter was trash. Tekken, oh my god.
I didn't even know these had movies. I never knew these.
There's a reason why you have it. There's a big reason.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah. So compared to those like the one years, I've seen some things about like Mortal Kombat and stuff, and DBZ obviously live action was complete fucking garbage.
That's
not even video game.
Yeah,
that's
not
like
cartoon.
Origin, but I'm saying like video game / cartoon, like on that level, like Sonic came out probably good when you compare it on that level.
It's the only one that's good though.
Yeah.
Not really comparing it to anything. But Tekken was horrible. Don't.
Yeah, I've never heard of a Tekken movie. Yeah,
believe me, there's a reason why I haven't heard of it, bro.
Like, what would be the plot? Like, it's hard to make a movie out of a game like that because like Tekken was just straight like hands. Pick two characters.
Well, like Street Fighter, they could do this one Street Fighter or Mortal Kombat. You got long enough histories.
Oh yeah, wait, Street Fighter had a movie.
Yeah, Rob Van Dam as Guile,
and it was really bad.
Yeah, Ryu and Ken did a palm thrust at the Hadouken. What the fuck is that?
A palm thrust?
Yeah, they did like a palm thrust with the Hadouken. It wasn't like a beam or anything.
Oh. So nothing happened.
Nothing. And people flew by like, oh.
This must have been back when they didn't have
it's
like
90s. So,
they did what they could.
yeah, right.
They could probably make a good one now. That's funny.
God had like a thick Russian accent. All right. Whatever.
Yeah. I would recommend definitely go see Sonic. I wouldn't go see it twice because again, there's a lot of like real kid humor and stuff, and like it wasn't like anything I feel like I need to see twice. But yeah, I would support it, especially for video game movies. It's actually a good video game movie and a Sonic, and they listen. So yeah, that's my synopsis on it for now, and then I'll wait until you see it. And I guess we'll actually discuss it. All right, we are we're done for today. We went really long. Well, we'll see if the OnlyFans part stays or not. I might just like slice the whole thing because I really couldn't just be a savage.
Pray for the simps, y'all.
Yeah, I really couldn't just be as savage as I want.
You need to stop over your head.
Yeah, I couldn't be as savage as I wanted, so I'll probably cut that out. But yeah. If you a simp, we're gonna pray for you, and we're gonna end the podcast. You can listen to this on Spotify or iTunes. Also sub and hit the bell next to the channel name if you want notification when this drops every Saturday. We appreciate you listening.